Hey guys, so this is a lesson on related rates, and so basically I'm going to take one example and then I'm going to kind of twist it a couple different ways to help you get a sense of how you approach a related rate problem. So let's just jump right into it. So I've got a 12-foot ladder is leaning against a wall when the base starts to slide. By the time the base is 10 feet from the wall, the base of the ladder is moving at the rate of 4 feet a second. So how fast is the top of the ladder sliding down the wall? So with all related rates problems, you always want to have a picture. So here's kind of the situation. And once you kind of get that picture, the next thing that you want to do is you really want to figure out, in the context of the question being asked here, like what is relevant about this picture? What do we really want to be thinking about? So this is talking about how fast is the top of the ladder sliding down the wall. So that's talking about this, right? This downward motion from here coming down. And so to determine how fast it is sliding, we need to know the distance from the ladder here to the floor. And so context is everything in related rates. So based off of kind of what other information I've been given, the ladder is 12 feet and then the base is 10 feet from the wall. How could I figure out what this distance is? Well, that would be using the Pythagorean theorem. So a squared plus b squared equals c squared. So to approach this, then we're going to want to label our sides. So we've got A, B, and C. Okay, so we now need to actually take a moment to really understand kind of the context of the problem. This is not an algebra problem, right? It is not saying that, my B is equal to 10 and my C is equal to 12. It is not so easy as just figure out what A is, right? That's an algebra problem. This is a calculus problem. So we have to understand, what is this really talking about? It's talking about by the time the base is 10 feet down the wall. So this right here is capturing a moment in time, and it is literally just a moment. In another second, this base is going to have already slid another 4 feet. So it is not really doing this justice to just think, oh, I just have to figure out what A is. That's not enough. That might be included in this, but it's not enough. So we have to figure out now, how do we relate this physical situation to having a rate? There's a rate here, and then the question itself is saying, how fast is the top of the ladder sliding down the wall? So that concept of fast is also this idea of velocity. So we have to clear up a couple of things before we start this. Now, one thing I noticed that students get kind of confused with is, how do you deal with all these numbers? And I think that something that's very helpful is to first think about the first equation that you wrote down. What are the units of this? Everything in this equation has to do with what? It has to do with feet, right? This is in feet. So that matters because that means that this 4 foot a second, this does not apply to this particular equation, right? This would not, but the 12 foot and the 10 foot probably could have something to do with this. So you want to kind of keep this in check, because sometimes you'll have so many numbers, and if you put the wrong number into the equation, then you're going to throw the whole thing off. Now, the next thing we have to think about is, how do I take this equation, how do I relate it to rates? Well, that's where the concept of differentiation comes in. So we're going to have to be a little creative with how we take the derivative. But if I take the derivative of this in a certain way, then I will be able to relate this physical situation to rates. So we'll deal with that in a second. So I need to take a derivative, but what I need to do kind of first here is I need to back up on this situation a little bit more. So thinking about that this is my A, B, and C, so I've erased some of these markings. So I need to take a derivative of this, but I also need to make sure that I'm very well representing the situation. So what is changing in this situation? Is A changing? So from 1 second to the next, as this ladder slides down, is A changing? Yes. So A is getting smaller and smaller, right, as the ladder slides down. What about B? Is B constantly changing? So yes, as the ladder slides this way, B is going to get longer and longer. Now what about C? Is C changing? C is the ladder itself. The ladder is always going to be 12 feet no matter what. So this is 12 feet always. whenever you have something that does not change in the problem, that is truly a constant, right? And so you can plug that into your physical situation. Our situation would be better modeled by a squared plus b squared equals 12 squared. Now this gives me space to acknowledge that a and b are going to change, but this side is not. All right, so now what I want to do is I want to bring rates into this. So the way that I do that is I need to take the derivative, but I have to be careful. I need to take the derivative with respect to this rate. Now this rate says feet per second. The equation itself is already in terms of feet, so really I have to now take the derivative in terms of time. This is the extra part of the rate that this equation lacks, right? So I'm not just taking the derivative of a or just the derivative of b. I'm taking these derivatives with respect to time. So how will that look? If I take the derivative of a squared, that's 2a, but now I need to indicate I took the derivative with respect to time. So that's dA dt. That is how you indicate that. Okay, so now I can take the derivative of b, so that's 2b, and then this is going to be, again, with respect to time, so this will be dB dt. And then all of this will equal 0. This was a constant, so in terms of rates, it's never going to change, so when you take the derivative, it makes sense that it's 0. There's nothing changing about this. And so now we have this problem actually in a pretty good spot, and now we have to figure out what information do we need. So, rereading my problem, I know that the base is 10 feet from the wall, so that's my B here, right? So I can actually fill in my B. I don't know what my A is, so we'll have to think about that in a second. And then finally I have the base is moving at the rate of 4 feet a second, so where would that go? That would go actually into this piece here. So, just to check that off, I have 10 going into here, I have the 4 feet a second going into here, and now I have to figure out what to do with these two. dA dt, this is exactly what we're being asked to figure out, right? So this actually should be an unknown. So the thing I should be able to fill in then is A, and we can do that using the Pythagorean theorem. So this side is 10, and so now I can just use the Pythagorean theorem to kind of figure this out. So let's see, I'll just do this in this pink color real quick. So I've got a squared plus 10 squared equals 12 squared. So if I sort that all out, I will ultimately get that a equals the square root of 44. And so we'll just leave it as that. So I could plug the square root of 44 into this now. So let me do that. Let me get rid of all this. And now I can plug in all my numbers. So this is going to become 2 times the square root of 44 times dA dt. And then we said that the b was 10. We said that dB dt was 4, and then all of this is going to equal 0. So check this out now. I actually have turned this into just a really basic algebra equation, right? So now I can just solve for dA dt, which if I do that, let's see, I'm running out of space, so let me clear some space. So this will come out to dA dt will ultimately equal 80 over 2 times the square root of 44. And then if you work that all out, you'll get, oops, sorry, I dropped the negative there. That should be negative 80 over 2 times the square root of 44. That comes out to negative 6.03. All right, so now we just have to format that in the terms of this problem. So how fast? So this should be a rate, and we can actually rely on this feet a second to help us fill in the rate. So it slides down at negative 6.03 feet a second. Now the fact that it's negative, that's fine because it's a rate, and the negative is what indicates that it's actually sliding down, so that's all good. So that's the first part of this. So if you have any questions or anything you want me to clear up, feel free to drop me a comment. And then moving on to the next question. So same situation, but now I'm just going to say, what is the rate that the area is changing for the triangle form between the wall, ladder, and the floor? So going back to this, it's still the same situation, right? But now the question is very, very different. So now I want to think about what is kind of happening in this picture. So once again, it's these two things are moving. And what I'm really interested in is as the top slides this way and the bottom slides this way, how is this area changing, right? So the triangle is going to change, and that's going to change the whole area. So thinking about it this way, now we are talking about area, so what is the relevant equation here? Well, now we're interested in the area of a triangle, which is 1/2 base times height. So related rates are all about the context of the question, and that's going to determine what formula you want. And after you kind of determine that physical formula, you're probably going to end up taking the derivative of it at some point. Now, in this problem, it's still the same moment that we're thinking about. We're still talking about this moment where the base is 10 feet from the wall and how this rate is kind of working with it. So now this 10, what letter would that correspond with? It would correspond with B, and this rate we'll have to bring in at some other time. And then for the height, so the height is dictated what? By this side over here. So maybe we should label those. So let's see, this side here we just said was B, this side here we just said was H. So now as I think about this equation, is this side even relevant? It's not. So the fact that this is a 12-foot ladder doesn't necessarily matter for this equation, right? And now for the next part of this of which letters are changing constantly, well, all of them, right? So B is constantly changing because the base is sliding, and then the height is constantly changing because this is coming down. So then the area is going to change. So all three letters are actually constantly changing. So in this particular problem, you don't have to plug in anything as a constant, unlike the last part where we did. Okay, so we might as well just take the derivative now. And remember, once again, we want to take the derivative with respect to time. Usually whatever rate you're given is giving you a big hint as to what to take the derivative with respect to. So this is going to be 1 dA dt equals 1/2 h dB dt. Remember, I'm using implicit differentiation. And then this is 1/2 B dH dt. So in this case, so I'm using the product rule here. So first the B will fall out, so then I'm left with dB dt times H, and then when I take the derivative of H, then I'm just left with the B, and then I just write dH dt. So here's what I've got. And now what's interesting is we actually have to use a lot of information that we found in the first part of this to help us answer this. So I know what B is that was given to me. H, I know what H is at this moment, right? So we actually found that in the last problem. And then I also know what dB dt is. And, so that is this 4 feet a second, so how the base is moving. And then dH dt, so thankfully we did that last problem because now we actually know how this is changing as well. So sometimes with these related rates problems, when they kind of build on each other like this, a lot of times you'll use the information from the last one to help you answer the next one. So if I plug in those 4 pieces of information, that will get me the area at which, or the rate at which the area is changing. So let's fill this all in. So I've got dA dt equals 1/2 times the square root of 44 times 4 plus 1/2 times 10. And then the last rate was negative 6.03. So if I just do the math here, so I get dA dt will equal negative 16.88. And so remember, this is area, so that's going to be feet squared a second for my rate. And so that would be the rate then in this case. So it's all about context, and then sometimes, information you find in a previous step you'll have to use in the next step. So keep that in mind. But hopefully that kind of helps you determine how to approach equations and thinking about the derivatives and stuff. But I have lots of other examples on this. A lot of times this just takes a lot of practice. So you're always thinking about the physical equation, what's a constant, and then how are you going to bring in the derivatives into this. So feel free to check out some of my other examples, and I'll see you guys next time.